Millz Young here, MMA Locker Room. Who's ready to bet on UFC? Me, that's who. UFC Bet With Me, UFC Vancouver. We're going over the UFC Fight Night card, headlined by RDR taking on Brandon Allen. Like always, I'm going to go through the whole card and let you guys know my picks, my predictions, and how to bet these fights and how to make some money. How to bet on the dogs that's barking. And at the end of the video, I'm going to drop a 2-leg parlay to get you paid. How'd you guys do last week, man? UFC Rio, Brazil. Man, let's talk about it. Transparency's key. 7-5 on our predictions. I mean, I got the main event wrong, man. Charles Oliveira, the Bronx, came through for Gamrot, man. Besides that, though, you know, we had some entertaining fights. Not too many fights that you're just gonna tell your homies about and be like, "Hey, man, I can't believe that happened." Not too many of those matchups happened at all. But hey, man, there's definitely opportunities to get paid. Charles Oliveira is just him, man. He's just him, man. All right, now, this week's card is headlined in Vancouver, Canada, so we got a lot of Canadian fighters on there. And like always, sometimes they try to give those guys favorable matchups, but like always, we're going to see how to make some money on this week's card. All right, first matchup of the night, Torina Laboza. She's taking on Melissa Croden. Now, Melissa Croden's making her UFC debut. Canadian fighter, slight dog money on her. Plus 1.5 on the comeback for her. 3 fights in the LFA. I think she went 2-1. Now, the thing about her, she's not a real active fighter, but she does have favorable wins coming by KO. She's aggressive. She comes forward with pressure. She likes to go for the finish. Torina Laboza, Muay Thai striker, 7-3 in the promotion. Come off a loss in her last time out. We was able to make money with her in 2 other spots in her prior fights. And here, I got to be honest, man, just based on the level of opponents, I got to go with Torina Laboza in this spot. It's a little bit, slight favorite price tag. So if you lose this one to start off the card, you can definitely bounce back. But Croden will have the hometown crowd going for her and rooting her on. But I think Laboza, she actually can mix in the takedowns that she did in multiple fights. And her striking is a little bit more cleaner. And I do trust her a little bit more at this price tag than an unproven fighter at this stage. Next fight, Azamat Bekoev taking on Yasari Bagari. Now look, Azamat Bekoev, minus 280 on the books. Talented fighter, 20-3. American top team product, man. And that's one of the gyms that's really putting in work. They produce fighters out of their gym left and right. Even the baddest guy, the worst guy that ain't good, he's good. Now, when we talk about how he adds up in the UFC, I want to say he's 2-0 or 3-0. Good striking, good boxing, defensively sound. His cardio does slow down as he goes and extends in the fights, but he can mix in wrestling and he can go with that finishability and look for the sub. Now, Yasari Bagari, we've seen him on the Dana White Contender Series 2 times, and the first time didn't go his way. Second time, he was able to get the win, but it was in the late 3rd round. And in that fight, man, it wasn't really looking that good. Now, he's a tall, talented fighter, kickboxer, trains with Alex Pereira. But this is the one thing, though. All because you train with somebody don't mean you can resemble and fight the same. Sometimes your fighters might get around and get around the good guys, but they don't really pan out. And to be honest with you, man, I don't think he really panned out yet. He just don't got it for that factor. He fought in the higher weight class too as well. So coming down to middleweight, it's going to be a strikers matchup in here, I think, in the first round. But in that second round, I can see Bekoev just going for the takedown and holding him down and getting that sub. Give me Bekoev to win inside the distance in this one. Next fight taking place, Stephanie Luciano taking on Ravina Oliveira. Now, Luciano coming off her UFC debut in a loss. Now she's a big favorite in this spot. Ravina, she was on a sideline just sitting. She only had 1 fight in the UFC and she lost. And she lost by to Torina Laboza, who's fighting on this card. Now, she is a short statue type of fighter that goes out there with the pressure. Luciano, to me, is just a way more clean, dynamic striker. She likes to pull people into her counters. Not just that as well. She has extensive leg kicks that she likes to throw. I do think she wins in this spot. But at that favorite price tag, I think there's better things to spend your money on this week in Canada than to bet on her. But the favorite, I definitely think she gets it done. Next fight taking place, Drew Dober taking on Kyle Prepolec. Drew Dober, biggest favorite on the card, minus 500. Kyle Prepolec, Canadian fighter, made his UFC debut last time out against Benoit Saint Denis. In that fight, he looked like he was winning the first round, and he got subbed in the second round. Durable fighter, never been knocked out, been submitted, and lost by decision. Drew Dober, we all know the story with him, and if you don't, I'm sorry, man, but this shouldn't be the show that you're watching. If you haven't seen a Drew Dober fight and don't know how to cap him, you ain't doing something right, man. Durable chin, but to me, I think that the wars that he's been in is starting to show, okay? You can only go so many times in these wars and rely on that chin to just hold up. In this one, though, I think it will hold up, but I'm not betting him at that big favorite price tag in here. I think this one's not going the distance. And Cal Prepolec, good leg kicker as well. He has good volume as well. And Drew Dober, he's out there to be hit, so he's going to give anybody a chance and an opportunity out here. And if he doesn't catch you with that one power punch, Drew Dober's not the guy like outvaluing you or anything like that at the end of the fight too. I'll be honest with you, man. To me, it's dog or pass at this price tag. And I will be sprinkling a little bit on Kyle Prepolec as well in this style, in this fight. But yeah, man. But the pick, just based on these guys' career and what we seen on tape, it got to be Drew Dober. But at those price and at those odds, I'm trying to tell you, man, there's better thing in Canada to spend your money on this week. All right, Danny Barlow stepping up to a new weight class, 185 in this one. 9-1 record, opening up, big favorite, -3-1 on the books. Taking on Jourdain Santos, 10-2, the original middleweight fighter in this weight class. Coming off his first one against, what was it? No? Yeah, he did get a win, man. But, now when we look at it, people's going to hold a loss over his career more than they are a win. Or because you lost to a fighter like Ozzy Diaz, that's fine, okay? Losses happen. It's all about how you bounce back. And to be honest, I think he's going to have the more power ability in this fight because he is the original one at middleweight. Danny Barlow now, he's a skinnier guy, man. So when he's stepping up to the middleweight division, we need to see if that power is going to transfer over. He's a guy that really likes to pull counter as well. That left-handed God is what he goes by in the slogan. And he should be able to connect them and connect the dots and put Jourdain Santos out, man. My prediction, give me Danny Barlow to win in round 2. I think he attacks the body and then catches him up top with the left cross. Left-handed God. Send him there. All right, man. Next fight. Bruno Silva is taking on Hung Sung Park. Bruno Silva, 14-7-2. Big underdog. Hung Sung Park, -280 on the books. Coming off his first loss against Tatsuo Tara. A clean striker who mixes in wrestling as well. Overall, I can trust this guy, okay? But what I can't trust him against is that price tag against a guy with Bruno Silva who fought the who's in the division. Any young up-and-coming prospect, Bruno Silva fought. Any guy who's supposed to be good, they kind of get Bruno Silva to him and see if he can get past. And guess what? All them fighters pretty much got past him, and all those fighters I did, pretty much on the upper echelon of their career. Now, when you look at it, I think Bruno Silva is dangerous as well, and I think Hung Sung Park can crack as well. But just based on those odds and everything, if Hung Sung Park was around -160, -180, that's what I think it should be lined at. But a -3-1 favorite, man, I don't think he's 3 times better than Bruno Silva. Even though Bruno Silva is, you want to say, on the older end of his career, that don't matter, man. Like, what matters is skill set. Sometimes your muscle memory loses, your fast twitch loses, but the skill set is always going to stay there and keep you sound, okay? So I think Bruno Silva still has a good enough skill set to win 1 or 2 rounds. And here, betting-wise, it's a dog or pass spot for me. Pick-wise, I still think Hung Sung Park is good. He might be able to put together a game plan to beat Bruno Silva in this spot. So the pick's going to be Hung Sung Park. All right, next one, man. We got a good one. Charles Jourdain, Canadian fighter, taking on Davy Grant. Man, Davy Grant, slight underdog in this one. +130 on the books on here. He's one of those fighters that just goes and shows up. Coming off a win his last time out against Damon Blackshear. Charles Jourdain, since he now, went down to bantamweight, it seems like this is the way better weight class for him instead of the 145 division. Now, since he's been there, kind of been like a split story before that. He was going close fights with people to where it just seemed like he was able to get taken down. Davy Grant ain't really going for no takedowns in this fight, but he's a game fighter and he's coming out there to throw. I don't think this fight's going the distance. I opened up with Charles Jourdain -125 on the money line. He's all the way up to a -170. I played him at that minus 125, but I'm here to tell you guys, man, it's certain fighters when they fight, they're always live. And Davy Grant is one of those guys. It don't matter who he's fighting, when he's fighting, what he's fighting. He's always going to be live in that fight, man. He's a dog, man. So if you guys are betting on Davy Grant, I ain't mad at you. I'm definitely not mad at you. And if Charles Jourdain gets to a 2-1 favorite, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and the value is all on Davy Grant. Even, yeah, it is what it is. You know, like, Davy Grant can give Charles Jourdain problems. The only thing is that I do think Charles Jourdain, if he's able to get those submission attempts, that's where he's going to pay dividends in this fight. Next fight taking place, man. Kyle Nelson, Canadian fighter, taking on Matt Frevola. Pretty much the line is a pick 'em in this one, but Kyle Nelson stepping back up to the lightweight division in this one, all right? Now, fighting in his hometown crowd, hear me out. I think it's going to be a retirement setting for him. Win or lose, I think, at this stage. You know, he might just lay him down at this stage of his career. He doesn't fight that often as well. Now, both these guys kind of match up the same. You know, they got power in their hands as well. But both these guys you really can't trust. I like the under, if anything. But I'm a Matt Frevola truther, and I've been riding with my guy. I don't bet him and back him all the time, but in this one I am. Minus 115, sign me up. I like how he took time off, you know, after getting knocked out in his last couple of fights, all right? Now, in here, he's going to have the wrestling advantage, okay? And he's going to have the fight resume, the fight IQ, too. I know, man, he's training with the upper echelon fighters in his corner still, and he's still got them in that inner circle, and they're telling him, just go out here, get the job done. You don't got to go out there. You're not fighting in Madison Square Garden. You're not fighting, you know, on this big card to go out there and put everybody lights out. Just go out there and get the win. With that being said, I think Matt Frevola does enough and gets the job done, and I think he can get the finish in the late third round. All right, now, next fight taking place. Cody Gibson taking on Qileng in this one. Cody Gibson, favorite in the spot, minus 160 on the books. Qileng is a guy that kind of, I don't really know why he's still in the UFC, if I'm just being honest with you guys, man. 25-12, you know, Cody Gibson gonna have the long dynamic reach in here. He can do that to set up his striking as well. He can go for takedowns. He can fist for the submission as well. I like Cody Gibson in this spot. Qileng can probably give him some problems later on as this fight get extended to that second and third round. That's when I think Qileng's gonna turn it up. But in the very first 7 minutes of this fight, I like Cody Gibson a lot in this fight as well. You know, yeah, if Cody Gibson was like minus 120, I'll be betting that straight. Minus 160, whoo, still a little bit high for my liking. I don't like him that much though, but I do think Cody Gibson wins in this fight. Next fight, Jasudavicius taking on Fiorot. Jasmine, 14-3, Canadian fighter, one of the better Canadian fighters out there. Man, Jasudavicius is good, man. Her striking, she's coming along. She's good with the wrestling. And not just that, her cardio always checks out. And she's a game fighter as well. Her fight resume is there. What I mean is she makes adjustments mid-fight. If this ain't going her way, she tries to change it up mid-fight. She's trying to win that round. Forget winning the fight. She's trying to win that round. That's a key advancement that I like out there. Trains at a Niagara top team too as well. And, you know, I like everything about Jasmine. Can't lie. Fiorot, great fighter, 12-2, technical striker, good, strong takedown defense. Fought the who's in the division, coming off a loss against Valentina Shevchenko, where we had Shevchenko on that spot. Now, I think she's going to be able to isolate Jasudavicius takedowns, and on that, I think Fiorot is going to be piecing her up on the feet. I think she's going to be countering her. I think she's going to be the more powerful striker, the more cleaner striker in here, you know, and the way faster fighter in here. I'm taking Fiorot to win by decision here. But I learned a long time ago, never bet against Jasudavicius. I said that a while ago, and I did it once then, and I learned that I never do it again. So to me, as a girl fighter, as a woman fighter, she has that it factor, and she goes for it, okay? Like, and that's what you always want out there. You don't want somebody that just kind of wants to just middle through the fight and just see what happens. She's going to make those adjustments. But with all that being said, man, I think Fiorot is just the better fighter in this fight. Next fight, Vera taking out Zahabi. Zahabi's going to be the Canadian fighter. 13-2, slight favorite, minus 135 on the books. Vera, everybody know him, man. One of the fan favorite fighters out there. Clean striking, likes to go for a lot of leg kicks. High guard when he holds up his defense. You know, and he's a late, slow fighter. He likes to turn it up later in the rounds. Zahabi coming off a great win against Jose Aldo. We had him in that spot. And it seems like the Canadian community just been waiting on this guy to blossom and blow up. All right, man. This is it, man. If you get a win over Jose Aldo and a win over Cheeto Vera, man, your name's definitely, those two names on your resume, you definitely going to get noticed now and, you know, get some bigger fights. Now, how this one could play out. Both these guys, I think, are going to the distance in the scorecards. Play fight to go the distance if you really want just your best bet to parlay it with something. And then, I'm going with Amin Zahabi in this one, man. Cheeto Vera is a good fighter, but to me, I just think, he's a good fighter, all right? But I just don't really, man. Never mind. Let me just stop on that little rant that I was about to go on, man. Give me Amin Zahabi in this one, man. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Cheeto Vera. All right, man. Mike Malott taking on Kevin Holland. And, oh, man, the line dropped. Mike Malott, the Canadian fighter out there, 12-2-1. Opened up at -150 favorite. Dropped all the way down to a -125. -115 on some books. Shop around for the best line. Kevin Holland, 28-14. This guy's coming off of a fight. What, about 2-3 months ago against Daniel Rodriguez. One of the most active fighters since he's came into the UFC. I think that's going to be his burden in this part, man. He took too many fights, man, in this year. I think this is like his 4th or 5th fight. And not just that, he's been taking in damage and damage and damage. Fighting at middleweight, fighting at welterweight, fighting whoever, fighting whenever. When you're doing that, I don't really think he's in the gym training. I don't think he's doing the conditioning that he's doing. Why? Because right after that fight, you know you're about to get another fight in like 2-3 months. The average fighter, you take a fight, cool, you relax for 3-4 weeks, go back to the gym, start training, you know, then you get a word in like 2-3 months that you're going to have a fight down the line. Not with Kevin Holland, man. He's fighting literally like every 3-4 months, man. And I think it's going to catch up to him. But in this one, he's going to have the power ability. He's going to have the better striking ability. But the takedowns is going to be there for Mike Malott. And I think he can win minutes on there. I don't think he's going to be able to submit him. Kevin Holland is a great jiu-jitsu fighter in there as well, man. And I'm not one to sit up here and talk bad about Kevin Holland or anything, man. I made money with him plenty of times. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I did. But I usually did as a way bigger favorite. In this spot, man, I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. I like Mike Malott. But there's a case for Kevin Holland to just knock him out, man. Mike Mallott's been dropped, and, you know, he's been rocked in fights. And Kevin Holland has that one-punch power ability that, you know, he can catch anybody. And he could definitely go out there and show Canada, hey, man, Batman's here to stay. But I think Mike Mallott's going to be able to mix in the takedowns, set up his strikes, and, you know, keep everything clean, you know what I mean? Don't make this a dirty fight and go for the takedowns and make this an easier night. Give me Mike Malott to win. Who you guys think won in that co-main event? Main event time. Rainer deRidder taking on Brandon Allen. Rainer deRidder, 21-2, taking on Brandon Allen. It was supposed to be Anthony Hernandez versus Rainer deRidder. He opened up as a -180 favorite. He's up to a -210 favorite. What, 4-0 in the UFC or 5-0 in the UFC? It's hard to keep count, man. Been watching this guy since the One Championship promotion. Glad he came over here and glad he fought at middleweight, man, because this is definitely where he's making his name known. Brandon Allen is a fighter to where he gets opportunities, and when he gets that big step up, he's not able to close the door on it. Now, Rainer deRidder is the guy to where it's like, hey, just get me in the show and I'm closing the door. Finish Bo Nickel, finish GM3, wins over Robert Whittaker in his last fight, wins over Kevin Holland as well, man. If he wins this fight, he's fighting for the belt next. You heard it here first. Now, with that being said, I think this fight's going to play out to that 3rd round. And in that 3rd round, I see an RDR going for the sub and getting the submission in this one. And if he doesn't get the submission, I still think he could do enough to win by decision. Give me RDR to win. All right, man. Now, I'm going to give you guys a 2-leg parlay to get paid, man. I'm going to take RDR, and then I'm going to take Manel Fiorot. Man, wait. I'm going to take RDR, and I'm taking Asmat Bekoev. Yeah, give me RDR and Asmat Bekoev. 2-leg parlay. Meet me out the window and let's get paid. MMA Locker Room here. UFC Bet with me. UFC Vancouver. We just went over this whole card for you guys to let you guys know on how to get paid and what bets to be made. UFC Bet with me. See you guys next time. Make sure you guys hit the like and hit the subscribe so you know when the Pickdawgz go live.